Why do inconsistent men feel so hard to let go of? Inconsistent men are so hard to let go of because inconsistency keeps hope alive. I know, it's a big deal, right? So let's have the conversation. So number one, if you've been with an inconsistent man and you're like, I don't know why I can't get rid of him. I don't know why I can't let him go. I don't know why I keep staying. These are the reasons why. Number one, inconsistency activates the nervous system, right? So that hot and cold, off and on, keeps you preoccupied emotionally. It's almost like a magnet, right? That draws you to him. So if it's on, it's off. It's hot, it's cold. You don't know what to make of it. And so you're hyper aware. And because you're hyper aware trying to figure it out, it keeps you close and keeps you in the craziness. like literally, it's like it keeps you in the loop of the craziness. And you're like, I know this isn't consistent. It's driving me crazy, but I can't seem to leave. This is the reason why. Okay. Number two, small effort can create this big hope inside. Because here's the thing, right? Especially when you see that there was some intention and he tried, then you're like, oh, so he does have potential. So he can do this, right? And so you've experienced it before, especially the ones you experienced, especially when it was let's say it was a really good date. This is how usually this gets really, really tied up. If you had a date of your life, like you just like, oh my goodness, that was so good. We went here, we went there. It was like it felt like you were with him for just hours and it felt amazing. And you're like, this is so good. But then he doesn't plan dates. He's not consistent. He plans and then, flakes at the last minute. He calls and then flakes. Like all those things, you see that he's inconsistent. But because there was an experience you had that blew your mind, that felt magical, that felt really good, you're like, well, it's in there. It's in him. And that keeps you there. If you want to know why you're with an inconsistent man and you can't seem to shake him and let him go, is because that little effort that he put in, it was so good. It left the imprint in you. And you're like, but I know it's there. So you're literally waiting and anticipating for the next moment where you can feel good with him again, right? Especially if you like some other traits and qualities that you see of him. This, for high achieving women, right? I see this a lot when you're dating high caliber men, also high achieving men. This happens a lot with them. Or let's say you did go to door 10. If you don't know what door 10 is, I have a door method. I have a method called the door method, and it's 10 doors every man has to pass through for you to meet and marry the right man the first time. Door number 10 is sleeping with a man. Door number 8 is falling in love. These are like really good checkpoints and discernments that I created into this beautiful process to help women really vet men properly, especially if you want to meet and marry the right man the first time. Download it. It's free PDF guide. Link is in my bio. It's free for now. Okay, so if you go in there, put your name, put your email, and grab it. Over 700 women have downloaded it so far. And I keep getting emails, Queenette, thank you so much for this door method. Thank you so much. And what's so funny was I remember it was just 500 not too long ago. And just every night, every day, I keep getting more and more people coming in, grabbing the door method, grabbing it, getting it. And I keep getting the emails, Queenette, thank you for this, right? So again, if you have already slept with him, let's say he's good in bed, but he's inconsistent. Again, you're wanting that hit again, right? And so, and I hate to, I didn't mean to use the word hit, it can mean multiple things, but you get the point I'm making, right? Okay. That was actually kind of funny. All right. So number 3 is intensity. So point number 3 is intensity can feel powerful, but it's not safe, right? So what you're feeling with an inconsistent man that makes you so intense and why you can't really shake him from your system and it takes a long time to actually get rid of somebody that's inconsistent is because it is intense, right? And that intensity feels so deep. You think is love. You think is deep emotions. You think you're building something, right? But you're not. And because it's so deep, you mistake it for we must have something special. It's not something special. It's just because of the intensity of that initial date or the time in bed or whatever the scenario was that made you feel so connected to him. Okay. I think this is so important to understand so that when you start feeling like you're feeling these things, right? I want you to be able to take a step back and say, I wonder if this is how I got roped up in my previous relationship. This is probably how you got roped up in your previous relationship is exactly what I'm describing right now is that. And in some case, I don't want to call it love bombing, but because sometimes this might be a situation where it's not a love bomb, right? But it was an intense, really good date. He knew exactly what to do with the woman, right? Especially again, high achieving men, especially men who have the capacity, have the income to really buy the flowers, do the whole thing, do the whole show, and you feel so special. pressure that night, but no consistency at all. And so you're like, wow, I felt so good. So my feelings can't be wrong. And you trust your intuition. That's how this keeps going on and on and on. And by the time you know it, you're in a dead end relationship for so long. And you're like, I thought this was going to go for somewhere. I believe. And this is how heartbreaks happen. Okay. So I really want to help us prevent that moving forward. So again, look into your relationship and see, where am I doing this? Where have I done it? And do I keep on doing it? Am I in a relationship right now where I'm actually is very inconsistent, but I'm still hanging on? And if you want to actually, if you want to know why you're still hanging on, even though you know better, is because of this. Okay. So one of the things you can do, right? One of the things I want you to shift into, the invitation here is you can stop romanticizing things that are not stable. And I know it's easier said than done, but that's the invitation, right? Because the goal here is to grow. As an identity coach, one of the things I want you to begin to do is anytime you shift an identity that you have, your way of thinking about yourself, the way you move through life, your outcomes change, the who you date change, how you see the world change, what's available to you changes. I don't know if I gave the pool analogy in another video, but it's like two different pools. There's a contaminated pool full of emotionally unavailable men, inconsistent men, men who are not ready to settle down. They don't want to get married. They just want to play games forever. And then on the other side of town, there's this clean, fresh water pool, right? Where men who are emotionally intelligent are, who want to settle down are, who don't play games, who are looking for their wives, who will identify their wives within a year and get engaged, right? Because they know what they're looking for. They're very intentional. They want family. They want this generational family. So they're looking for their wives who they're going to be going to vacations with. They're looking for a good woman. You're out there. But if you don't think that freshwater pool exists across town and you're like, all men are in the contaminated pool and you have that kind of conversation because you're just exhausted and tired, then that's the healing work that needs to be done, because now your only thought is all the men are going to be that way. And that's not the case. So final point here is, right? Yes, it might be difficult to leave because you see the glimmer. You've seen you've seen the glimmer of hope. You've seen him sprinkle in some of the things that you wanted. Again, it's a sprinkle, right? It's inconsistent. It's not something you can depend on, right? If it's not something that you can depend on in dating, it's certainly not something that you can depend on in marriage. And so you have to make that determination. Is this a waste of time? and if you identify that this is a waste of time and it's not going anywhere, then you have some decisions to make. Okay. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm Queenette, founder of the Date Like a Queen movement, the door method, the queen wound, which I'll be talking about some more on this channel. I'm so excited to have these conversations here on YouTube. I tend to be long-winded. So I'm so happy to have a platform like YouTube where I can like really uncover and share the thought processes, the models I've created to really help women, especially high achieving women, who is, in my opinion, the most underserved community in the dating market, like completely underserved. People don't understand how high achieving women are, some of their personal struggles. And so when I developed a queen wound for this very reason, so I can show you, in areas where, some of the challenges you're having in a relationship, is to really have you become aware of what's going on and speak to you in a way that most people will not, because they just don't understand how you live. They don't understand some of the challenges that come with being smart, being brilliant, having every single other area part of your life work exceptionally well, incredibly well. You've broken a lot of generational curses. Put that in quotes because I don't believe in curses, but like just generational stuff, right? You've overcome so much. You have such a high capacity, except for in romantic relationship, right? And so that's what I call the queen wound. The queen wound is essentially an identity fracture where you believe that, well, high achieving women specifically believe that in order to be loved, they have to be less. And it shows up in 4 ways. And I'll discuss that in the upcoming videos, okay? All right, take care. Don't forget to subscribe. And if any of the things I shared here resonates with you, leave a comment in the comment section and let me know, okay? All right, take care. Bye.